And this is one of the very critical workshop as well, because here we're talking about all the changes which are put forward by Toastmasters International regarding the contest, how we select the judges, the rules, all the questions which were asked by all of you at different time. So we thought we'd club everything together into this workshop. You know what the information is, and if you have any queries, doubts, you can ask your questions and that can be answered. And to do so, we have a very special guest who's just across Bahrain Bridge, because she's based in Saudi Arabia, DTM Sadia Irfan Khan. Now, who is DTM Sadia Irfan Khan? The introduction is amazing. When I ask, who are you or who's Sadia? Then it brought us to District 79. And I'm sure all of you know District 79 and the history. So she's a chief judge and the part of the PQD team in District 79. She's a past PQD in District 79. She's a past parliamentarian, all the experience together. The past Pathways Ambassador, past Division J Governor. She's a past club president in different clubs, and she had various leadership positions at different levels, again, club, area, division, and the district level. She's a sponsor and coach to many Toastmasters. She has already prepared the briefing about today's workshop. She has already conducted the workshop in her district. And when I came to know all the information she has presented over there, I said, we need that information as well in our district. So I requested their district to allow her to come to our district and share the experience which she has compiled by reading all the documents. So please give huge round of applause to our speaker, DTM Sadia Khan, to let us know what are the changes in the contest rule book. And overall, she'll be briefing us, and then she will telling us what are the changes. Any questions and queries, again, I request everyone to please raise your hand so that we can take one by one all your questions and queries. Please don't jump and do not interrupt. That's my request. Put your questions and queries in the chat, and all of them within the time frame will be answered. If anything left out, we will be sending the queries and questions to her, and we can get all the answers, I'm sure, and we can pass them back to you. Thank you very much. And with this, Toastmaster DTM Sadia Khan, floor is yours.
Thank you so much, DTM Khalid. And thank you for making me part of this wonderful morning today with you all, District 20. So it's my pleasure and honor to be with you all. So today, to begin with, I will focus on the contest rules. Now, we might wonder, why are contest rules important? And for whom? Number one, why should you have contest rules and who are they important for? I'll just share my screen. Give me 2 minutes, please. Is it fine? Is it visible?
Yes, visible.
Yes, please.
So now, yeah. So now we are talking about the contest rules. Of course, these contest rules are the guidelines for every Toastmaster contest that we have. And this is the contest season. We have started with the contest season now. So these are the guidelines that each contest officials, contestants will need it. And we as Toastmasters need to be aware of them as well. So let's start with it. And we're talking about for whom are the contest rules important. Contest rules are important for the contestant, obviously, because contestants are guided by this rule in terms of eligibility and to prepare themselves correctly for the contest and, of course, avoid any disqualification. So contestants need to be aware of these rules. Others are the voting judges and the chief judges. There is a clear guideline for the judges, how they are going to assess the contestant, and that would be fair and consistent. Besides that, voting judges are also the ones who will raise protest. So they should be aware of the grounds on which they should be raising the contest. Chief judges need to know the contest rules because they are the ones who will make sure that the contest rules are followed. Contest officials are the contest chair and contest masters, even the timers, they should be aware of these contest rules because they are the one who will execute these rules. And of course, the audience. Audience should know these rules because they would know they are assured of having a fair contest, and this will enhance their experience. So these are the people for whom the contest rules are important. Now, why are contest rules important? Number one is the fairness and consistency. If the rules are applied, it will ensure fairness and consistency. Preparation and eligibility. With understanding the guidelines and prevent disqualification ensures readiness. So if you know the contest rules, you are able to prepare yourself well and adhere to the eligibility criteria. When you're following the contest rules in a Toastmaster contest, it brings in professionalism and integrity. This shows that you respect the competition and you are aware of whatever is happening, and however the contest is being organized, it is done in a professional manner. And next is, of course, learning and growth. Adhering to rules teaches discipline and attention to details. So any contest, anything that happens, if it happens by the rules, it leads to discipline, and then there is attention to detail as well. Now let us talk about the eligibility criteria of the contestants. These are not only the updates, not only the recent changes, but also the reminders to the contestants and everyone involved. So to be the contestant, the criteria is you should be an active member. A contestant should be a paid member of a club in good standing with Toastmasters International to participate in any official contest, speech contest. So to be a contestant, you have to be yourself, be a paid member, and your club should also be in a good standing. So club to be in a good standing is to have at least eight members, paid members in the club. Second is role restriction. Members serving in certain contests, official or presenter, are ineligible to compete in the same contest, ensuring fairness and avoiding conflicts of interest. So for example, if you are a presenter at an event, at the Toastmaster event, then you cannot compete in the contest. If you are a contest master, so you can't be the contestant in the same contest. So this is the rule restriction. Next is multi-club member. Contestants who meet all eligibility requirements are permitted to compete in club contests in each club in which they hold the paid membership. So for example, if you are a paid member of 3 clubs, you can compete in the contests in all 3 clubs. You can compete in international speech from Club A, Club B, Club C. You can, this is when you are a member of more than 1 club. And of course, physical presence, this is one rule. Beyond the club level, contestants must be physically present to compete, with exception for specific contests like international speech contest, quarterfinals, online speech contest, and video speech contest. So now you cannot have the online contest beyond club. So from area, division, district, you have to have the club or the in-person contest, and everybody should be present there for the contest. So the contestant has to be physically present at the contest. The compliance, contestants must adhere to all rules and regulations outlined in Rulebook to maintain their eligibility throughout the contest process. Now, always pay attention to this rule, that if you are contesting, for example, you contested at club level, you were a member of the club, but your club was not in good standing. The member went on to contest in the area. He competed, he went on in the division. And at division level, if it was identified that the member was not eligible at the club level, the member can be disqualified at division level. So be sure, starting your journey as a contestant, be sure that you are adhering to all the rules and regulations throughout your journey as a contestant. Moving on, we are talking about ineligible contest participants who cannot be a contestant. Members serving as voting judges at any level in any district for same contest type in which they would be competing are ineligible to participate as contestants. So this is a new rule. Earlier, you could be a judge at your club, and then but you could participate in the contest at area level. You could go ahead, but now you do not serve as a judge at any level if you are a contestant. So avoid any such conflict, because obviously it is conflict of interest. So now if you are a judge even at your club level, you cannot compete at any level ahead. Earlier, you could be judge at the club level. So please avoid the contestant who are planning to be, contestant who are going to contest. Do not be judged at any level to avoid any such, conflict. Of course, tie breaking and chief judges cannot be so voting judges cannot be a contestant. Then tie breaking and chief judges, those holding tie breaking and chief judge position at any level in any district for the same contest type are prohibited from competing in that contest. Of course, we are talking about same contest type. So we are talking about international speech. If you are a judge at international speech, you can be a contestant at humorous, table topic, and evaluation speech contest. Or if you are judge at a humorous contest, you can be judging at other 3 contests. This is at any level, starting from club. Contest officials, members serving as timers, ballot counters, sergeant-at-arms, or any other official roles for specific contests cannot compete in that same contest. So if you are a contest official in a speech contest, for example, table topic, you are a timer in a table topic, you cannot participate in the table topic contest, but of course you can participate in other 3 contests. So it is about the same contest. So officials, timers, ballot counters, sergeant-at-arms, contest chairs, these people cannot participate in the same contest at the event, but in other contests, they can participate. So for example, if you are a sergeant-at-arms at humorous speech contest, you can contest in other speeches if you are not serving as sergeant-at-arms in the contest. So make sure that you're not serving any roles when you are contestant. And next is event presenters and chairs. Individuals presenting educational sessions, serving as contest chairs, contest masters, or event committee chairs for events where contest is being held, including contests at area, division, district, and international conventions, are ineligible to compete. So if you are a presenter of a session, or if you are the contest chairs, contest masters, or event committee chair, you cannot contest at the event at all. So contest master and contest masters also cannot compete at that event itself. So you cannot contest in any of the contest. If you are these people, either you are a workshop presenter serving as a contest chair, and you are a committee chair. Now we are talking about eligibility requirement of chief judge, voting judge, or tie-breaking judge. What should a chief judge, voting judge, and tie-breaking judge be careful about? This onus of responsibility of eligibility lies on the individual themselves, because the judges themselves fill the eligibility form. So be careful. And because this is basically integrity of the person involved. So now at the club level contest, to serve as a chief judge, voting judge, or tie-breaking judge, the individual must be the paid member of a Toastmasters International. So even if you're a new member, you joined the club recently, you can be the judge at your club level contest. You don't need any other qualification. That's it. If you're a paid member of the club, you can be a judge. Now coming to area, division, or district level contest, judges at these levels must be paid member for minimum of 6 months. So you should be a 6-month-old Toastmaster and should have completed specific speech project or pathway levels. 2 levels should be completed in pathways. So you have to be a paid member for minimum 6 months and at least completed 2 levels of pathway from any path. Speech project requirement, judges must have completed either 6 speech projects from the previous computer communication manual or should have earned certificates of completion in levels 1 and 2 of any pathways learning experience path. So as a judge, you have to have completed level 1 and level 2 of pathways and should have completed 6 speech projects from the earlier computer communication manual, which is, I think, redundant now. Now, talking about the physical presence, since it is going to be the in-person contest now, no more online contest. The judges must be physically present at the contest they are serving, with exception made, of course, online speech contests, which are other than what we are talking till our district level. Now, let's come to contest officials' rules and restrictions. Contest let me tell you, many of the rules. There are only 2 or 3 new updates to this contest rulebook 2024-25. These are all rules that have, either we do not follow them or we overlook them. So these are also reminders. So there's a single role policy. This has always been there. So the contest officials are restricted to serving only one role in the same contest set area when practical division district. So if you are a timer, be only the timer and do not take up other responsibilities for a speech contest, for that one single speech contest. So if you're a sergeant at arms, you cannot then, after doing the role of sergeant at arms, sit down and start being the timer. Or, okay, finish, sergeant at arms role is finished, now I'll become a ballot counter. Do not do this. Single role policy should be there. This policy ensures that each official can focus on their specific responsibilities without potential conflict or overwhelming workload. This is for the benefit of the contest, to make the contest fair, to make the contest interesting, and see that each person who is doing the role does the role well. It also maintains fairness and integrity. By limiting officials to single role, the contest maintains a high level of fairness and integrity in its process, its proceedings, and exceptions. When you can't have each person doing one role, when there are exceptions, you can do it at the club level, maybe, 2 people are serving 2 roles, but the higher levels in the club, after club, that is area, division, and district, is very important. And it is, you make sure that you follow the single role policy to make the club, make the contests effective and interesting. So extraordinary circumstances are, of course, there, but it is not a rule that cannot be broken, you do not become disqualified because you're a timer and the sergeant at arms or playing dual roles or triple roles, but avoid at the club level. You can maybe, if it is really necessary, but beyond club level, it is strongly recommended to have single role policy. Now coming to protest procedures and limitations. Valid protest grounds. Protests can only be lodged on grounds of eligibility, originality, or reference to another contestant or their speech. The specific criteria ensures that protests are focused on substantive issues that could affect the fairness of the contest. Now, protests can be lodged only on grounds of eligibility. Eligibility, as I told you in the beginning, if the contestant was eligible to become the contestant at various levels that he has contested. So if he is eligible throughout, this is the eligibility ground. If not, then you can lodge a complaint. Originality, 70% of the speech should be original by the contestant, written, produced by the contestant, and 30% may be taken from somewhere, but proper reference should be given to that wherever it is taken from the speech. So this is we're talking about originality. And next important addition is reference to another contestant. So for example, if I'm in a humorous speech contest and I mention Toastmaster XYZ before me spoke this, or I liked what Toastmaster XYZ said in his speech. So here you are making a reference to another contestant. This is ground for ineligibility. You cannot refer to a contestant and you cannot also refer to the speech. So you may not name the contestant, but you may say that in one of the speech, one of the contestants said so and so. So these are the grounds for ineligibility. I will tell you what is new in this in the next coming slide. Eligible to protest, who is going to protest? Voting judges and contestants only have the authority to lodge protest. This limitation helps prevent unnecessary disruptions and ensures that those most directly involved in the contest can raise legitimate concerns. Now, you are, if you are a voting judge and you are a contestant yourself, you can raise protest. Besides these two people, this set of people, nobody else can raise a protest. Now, if you're an audience, and you're an informed audience, and you feel that, oh my God, this is something wrong happening, and there is the protest needs to be lodged, you may, as an audience, you may go to the contest chair and talk about it. But then you have no right to raise the contest. So the people who are raising the raising the protest are voting judges and contestants. Even the tie-breaking judge is not eligible to raise the protest. Submission process, who should the protest lodged with? All the protests must be submitted to the chief judge or the contest chair before the contest is adjourned. So, for example, now evaluation speech contest is going on, and you have a protest to lodge it immediately before the contest chair says the evaluation speech contest is adjourned. Before that, if you have a protest, please raise it at that time. Otherwise, it becomes invalid. So all protests must be submitted to whom? Should be submitted to the chief judge or the contest chair before the contest being adjourned. This time frame allows the prompt resolution of any issues while all relevant parties are still present and details are fresh in everyone's mind. Now let's talk about new disqualification criteria. Which is the new disqualification criteria? This is the expanded criteria. The rulebook now includes reference to another contestant, not just the speech, as ground for disqualification. This broadens the scope of what can be considered inappropriate content in a speech content. So earlier, the contestant could be disqualified only by referring to the speech. Now, the additional is expanded criteria is that also on the ground of taking the name of the contestant. So if somebody takes the name of the contestant, previous or coming contestant, you are disqualified. You can be disqualified. Now, why is this done? This addition aims to maintain fair level playing field for preventing contestant to gaining unfair advantage. So this is the contestant should not get unfair advantage by demeaning the earlier contest or the speech or, saying something which is unfair to the contestant and the speech. So to maintain the fairness of the speech, this criteria has been expanded. Judges must now be vigilant, not only for the reference to the other speeches, but also for the mention of the fellow contestants that could be construed as inappropriate or unfair. So any reference to them, the judges should also be vigilant, and they should remember that this criteria has been expanded, and reference to the contestant's name is also a ground for disqualification. Contestants' protection. This rule offers additional protection to contestant, ensuring that the focus remains on individual performance and content rather than interpersonal dynamics or comparisons. So this is the reason why this criteria has been expanded. Now we have the rule book, the contest rule book 2024-25. It is important that the district leadership immediately distributes this rule book to all the people, all the Toastmasters. Individually, every Toastmaster should have the rule book. If you are having a contest in your training, in your area training, in your dot training, district officers training, this rule book should be highlighted and distributed to every area and division directors. At club level, the club president should make the club members aware of the existing rules, highlighting the important parts. And of course, every time, all the members, if there are question and answers, remember the district leadership, club leadership, area leadership, division leadership should be aware of the rules so that they can guide their members, correctly. And the contest, there are no controversies in the contest. Starting from the club level till district level, to avoid such conflicts, if everybody is fair and knows the rules, it becomes easy to have fair and just contest. With this, I come to the end of the presentation, and I would like to answer any questions if there are. Thank you.
Thank you very much, DTM Sadia Khan, for this lovely presentation and letting us know what are the changes and overall what are the contest guidelines. Now, I'll request our audience to raise their virtual hand so I can find out who are you and then let you ask your questions or query.
So Vinayak is unable to raise his hand, but he's showing in the camera that he wants to ask.
Yes, Mr. DTM Modi. So, Mr. Vinayak, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, yeah, now I have unmuted. Sir, my question is like this: reference to another contestant in the same speech, or can we refer, like, for example, I refer to Mohammad Katani in a speech today. Is that allowed?
Yeah, of course. The rule says the contestant at that particular event, So earlier.
Okay. Earlier is okay. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Any other queries? If you can raise your hands. Okay. Since I don't see any hand raised, there was a question was put forward, and let me ask that question. Now it can be a question or a comment or maybe clarification. Only eligibility protest can be raised and acted upon, even after adjournment of the contest. That is correct.
Eligibility, yeah. Eligibility can be raised later on. Here we are talking about when we're talking about at the event, it is mostly related to the originality, and now that referring to the contestant's name and speech. But eligibility can be, can be raised later on as well.
Yeah, I can see DTM Priscilla raise her hand. Yes, DTM Priscilla.
Yes, my question is regarding audience protests. You mentioned that the audience can approach the contest chair if there is a protest. My question is, can the contest chair consider that as a protest? Because it says only voting judges and contestant can protest.
Yeah, excellent question, Toastmaster Priscilla. The thing is that, you are a Toastmaster. For example, I am a Toastmaster. I have been there for a number of years, and there might be an overlook of something. So it is always good to bring to the notice of contest chair or any of the judges. It is for them then to take the protest further. So it is just to make them aware that there has been a violation. Rather than keeping quiet and not drawing attention, it is just to draw their attention to it. Taking the protest and actually lodging the protest is the job of the voting judges and the contest chair. And the contestants, sorry, voting judges and the contestants only.
Thank you.
Thank you, Priscilla. There's a question which was part of the previous question. I'll come to DTM Ram in a minute. You say that you answer, let me get back to the chat, that if it is an old contest, someone has given, like the example of Katani, you said it is a very old contest, you can give a reference. Now, someone is asking a question, what if there are two contests on the same day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon? The contestant attended as an audience in the first contest in the morning. Afternoon, he is contesting, and he gives the reference of the first. Is that allowed or not? I think it's two different contests anyway.
Yeah, this obviously came up in a number of times, this question, because Toastmaster rulebook is not very clear about it. It doesn't say that, for example, if you are part of a humorous speech contest and you referred something to evaluation speech contestant, and the contest is already over. So is that this, I think, should be a district decision, whether to consider that at the beginning. Now, like you have this done is at the district level that no reference whatsoever to any contestant at that event, to any contest, is better to have that, because Toastmaster rulebook doesn't say that very clearly as to if it talks about the contestant in that particular contest, but doesn't say if referred to another contest. It is not very clear about it. So you can have your district rule and it should be applied uniformly throughout the district, like for all levels.
We are very soft and kind in our district, so we let it go. DTM Ram, you raised your hand earlier. You have a question, query?
Thank you, Madam Sadia Khan. That was wonderful education session you have delivered today. Kudos to you, Madam. Always I'm inspired by you and the district as well, and the trial leader PQD, Khalid Jalal sir. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. The protest has been raised. However, from the audience, how he will protest? He cannot be the whistleblower. First question. Second, protest has been raised, and you or me being a chief judge, is it necessary that all judges to be available, whether virtual or physical? Presence is required. If 7 judges are there, all 7 judges are required to make a decision, or it is purely based on the chief judge. Thank you. Over to you.
You're talking about the protest, how the protest is to be resolved.
Protest, because we always voice, because many of the times I deliver the role of chief judge, because not all 7 judges are available. Some are there, some are not there. What the rule book says and how we go about it. Thank you. In order to be fair, transparent to everybody. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you for your question, Toastmaster Ram Kumar. Toastmaster rule book is very clear on this. When the protest is raised, the chief judge is supposed to take all the judges. Now the judge's presence is important. Even during online contest, there has to be a breakout room where the judges are taken. So if there is a protest, now the question is out. This is out of question about online contest. So let us talk about the actual contest, the in-person contest. So the chief judge takes all the voting judges with him in a room. The protest is lodged. The chief judge talks about the protest, and the judges have to vote on it. So if it is carried out by majority, that is why we have odd number of judges, 5, 7, 9. So if there is a majority, the majority takes the decision. So protest is lodged and the protest is resolved in a proper manner. The judges and the chief judge especially should be aware of the grounds of the contest and how the ground of the protest and how the protest should be resolved. These are very important tasks of the chief judge. He should know this. The rule book is very clear about it. And presence of all the judges who judged that particular contest in which the protest is raised, the presence of all the judges is mandatory to resolve the protest. I hope that answers your question.
And finally, the time and tide wait for none. How much time do you think as chief judge we need to wait? We know common sense says that meeting or annual contest, this particular contest is adjourned. We hear that word. Then no protest can be raised, even if it is raised, is not encouraged. But how much time in general is required to wait to declare the adjourn? Usually we wait for the chief judge.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Over to you.
Yes, it is only at the signal of the chief judge that the contest is ended, is adjourned. So till the protest is not resolved, and of course you should be guided by prudence, that the chief judge as to how long he needs to carry on the protest and resolve it. But the contest cannot be adjourned till the protest is resolved and the chief judge comes in with all the judges. So
I just want to add on this to DTM Ram's question.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you. Over to you.
To answer DTM Ram's question as well, for the interest of audience. Last time I was in the convention and there was a contest going on. There was the same situation. The chief judge took all the judges out to a breakout room, and it took so long, but they didn't give a specific time. Till they resolve the matter, they come back and then they announce the results, and then only the contest move forward, and then they adjourn it. So I don't think there's a specific time frame for that. There's a question in the chat came to me. Is it mandatory to attend the briefing by all, as many? Some of the Toastmasters, senior Toastmaster, and they feel they don't need to attend. Is it mandatory, or it is just a practice?
It is a practice, and a very healthy and good practice. So I really encourage that every person, every role player should attend his or her briefings, because we know so many rules. We understand. We have been seasoned judges. We know this. We take it for granted that we know everything. So attending the briefing doesn't harm anyone. So it is better to attend the briefing and get yourself refreshed with the rules and regulations and understand maybe that particular event has something in a particular that the chief judge or the contest officials want to brief. So yes, it is important, but of course it is not mandatory, but highly, highly recommended.
Yeah, the best practice is to attend the briefing said by DTM Brahm, and Murli said that in a contest there's no senior or junior. The judges are judges, chief judge is chief judge. Thank you very much for that note. Yes, Toastmaster Asha, Dr. Asha.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you for your wonderful session. I have never ever been a chief judge. Okay, I have been judges as a judge, I have been few times. But as a chief judge, do you suggest that I should have 6 backup judges? Like normally I will select 6 qualified judges. But should I have backup for each of them?
I think that would be really not possible. If you can, it's fine. But of course, you should have few because of course, six of your judges won't say no. There is a possibility that 1, 2, or maximum 3 might say that there's some problem. So you should have a backup plan, but not for each one of them, but reasonably
Okay.
planned.
So even if you have 2 or 3 backup judges, the briefing which we should attend before the contest, should the backup judges also attend the briefing? Is it a
No,
must?
no. The backup judges, when the contest starts, the briefing starts, you have the judges with you.
Yeah,
So only
yes,
the judges
correct.
who are actually going to judge the contest should be there.
Contest will be there. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Asha. There's a question raised, can a chief judge decide to ignore a judge's vote? I don't think so, but let me hear from you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Chief judge's job is not to, validate or invalidate any vote. As a chief judge, according to the integrity and according to the fairness to the judges, you have to take all the votes ballot. Because whatever you might have, maybe your individual decision, but as a chief judge, you need to, of course, otherwise only accept when the ballot is not signed or the name is not written. That is when, especially not signed, those ballots become invalid. But otherwise, or the judge has, left out one of the places, not written place 1, place 2, maybe that then you can invalidate the judge's ballot. But on the grounds or any other grounds, it is not.
So, okay. So point here is, if let's say I'm a chief judge, that's a question. If the chief judge gets the ballots which are not signed, maybe the judge forgot to sign it or he just rushed and given it. So can a chief judge just ignore it, or he should go back to the judge and get it signed again?
Rule book says that the ballot becomes invalid. So going by the rule book, the ballot becomes invalid. If the judge has not signed the ballot sheet, the name is not written, then maybe it can be considered. But if the judge has not signed the ballot, so as if you are a judge, when you get the judging ballot with you, first thing you do is sign. Then you start the contest, and before the contest starts, sign your ballot papers before even tearing it off. Sign it so that your ballot is valid.
Okay. Any other questions from the audience?
Yeah, one of the example I wanted to share here, if I'm allowed to do so, PQD.
Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you, because it's interesting session. What I faced during the collection of the ballots and tally counters, I received the ballots, and suddenly we noticed that 2 of the judges, the names are written but not signed, and they were very well informed. And now, according to the rule book, what you stated just now, these 2 ballots are invalid, which means the ratio of the selection itself, varies. When the champion speaker perhaps may not be awarded in the first or second place. That's our worry. So what I do is, we have a judges group in which we amicably put a message and within 30 seconds, once we receive, we consider their ballot is valid once they resend. What do you think about it, madam? Thank you.
Yeah, I think that is a correct way to approach, because if two judges, if you invalidate the ballots of two judges, the whole ratio of judging the contestant might be affected. So, acting reasonably, as you said, giving a particular time frame. This we are talking about online contests. Now we are talking about in-person contests. So the telecounter can go and get it signed. Do not invalidate though the rule book says that, but we are humans, and this is a very minor thing which will not affect the judging. So if it is not signed on, the name is not written, telecounter can go and get it done quickly.
Thank you. And I don't see any hand raised anymore. Any more questions? Sorry, I want to, yeah. Okay, they say ladies first, so DTM Asha, then I'll go to Toastmaster Vinayak.
Yeah, PQD, we need some more sessions, at least 2 more sessions.
2 more sessions. Point taken. Thank you.
Yes.
And Mr.
Because
Vinayak?
many people have not attended, some people, like for the people who didn't attend, and even for me, I want to attend it one more time.
Okay. Yes,
Sir, my
yes.
question is like this. There are sometimes some judges who, for the same position, they write 2 names. For example, first place, Mr. John and Tom. Although it's wrong, what do you do then? Because it's the
That is
judges.
invalid. That would be
Pardon?
Invalid.
The whole ballot is gone.
Qualified.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, this is why the briefing is very important, because during the briefing, the chief judge usually tells the judges, make sure you write your name and signature. That's number 1. And you have to pick number 1, number 2, number 3. So you cannot only keep 1 and 2 and don't put number 3, because
No, that was not the question, sir.
I know.
For example, in
What
first place, they put 2 names because
Khalid Jalal
they
first
cannot
position,
both
Khalid
are
Jalal
equally
first
good.
position,
What do
Khalid
you do?
Jalal second position. It's not allowed.
No, not like that, sir.
No, 2
In first
different
position,
names in
Khalid
one
Jalal
position.
and Vinay. Both are
And
equally
Vinayak,
good, so I cannot.
no. You have to choose
So
one.
you should tell them. I've come to this, so you should tell these judges that they should decide among themselves the best. You cannot put 2 as equally good.
The judge,
That's correct.
when we do judges training, judges are trained how to break the tie, their own tie. Because as judge we come across at the end, 2 contestant may be having 70 to 72 points. How do you break the tie? The judge should understand, the judge should know. And that can be done when you're making notes, when you're taking down notes as a judge. It's really important to take down notes. And these notes help you break your own tie.
Thank
We'll
you. Yeah,
take
that
one-
answers the question. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll take one last question, DTM Murli.
It was not a question, it was to answer to our the last questioner, which she has answered it very well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I don't see any hand raise anymore, and our timer has already given me the red light. So, and also it's Friday today. I'd like to thank our speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Sadia Khan,